Tonight, scientists are seeing lower water levels in the Great Lakes. A change from these images of homes disappearing into the water after we saw high levels just a couple of years ago.
Fox 17's Matt WITKOS spoke with an expert on what this means for us going into the summer. Matt?
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers shows Lake Michigan and Lake Huron 2 feet below the records. A local expert says a couple of contributing factors play into this drop.
The Great Lakes are breathtaking. And like a breath, the waters go in and out.
January was a very dry year across the basin. So actually, we had, more of a decline than we normally would have in January.
Grand Valley State University Honest Water Resources Institute professor Alan STEINMAN has a passion for understanding the Great Lakes. He's been studying them for more than 20 years.
Things have changed dramatically due to the climate, and it's hard to know what the future is going to bring.
And while the distant future might be hard to see, the next 6 months are a little more predictable.
So we would anticipate that this would be a pretty normal year in that regard. They'll go back up, but they won't reach anywhere near the record levels we've had.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers puts out monthly reports. STEINMAN is always looking over them. And February's report shows Lake Michigan and Huron seeing a 2 feet drop since the record set in 2020.
We're no longer near where we were for record levels that were causing all the erosion and concerns for people's real estate along the shoreline.
STEINMAN says as a cause for this drop, a lack of ice this winter.
So if the water is open, if it doesn't have ice cover, that'll cause a lot of evaporation because the lakes, even though they're cold compared to July, they're relatively warm compared to the atmosphere, and that's what drives evaporation.
In true Michigan fashion, the weather can change. That's why those monthly reports also show a worst case scenario in either direction.
As we often say, Mother Nature has the last word.
Lake Superior, St. Clair, and Erie also saw drops in water levels. Lake Ontario is the only one seeing a small increase, but still below those record levels set in 2020. In studio, I'm Matt WITKOS, Fox 17 News.